So this is called white cone dribbling. For beginners, we're emphasizing three things. The first one is that they're changing their height. So they shouldn't be the same height the whole time. They should change their heights with their moves. The second one is we're not hopping into the moves, but rather we're stepping. And then the third one would be that we're getting our shoulders, chest, and feet aligned to be pointed towards where we want to go next. And that's super important for small kids especially. The setup is going to be where we have 4 or 5 cones spaced out about 6 feet apart in a straight line. The beginner stage is going to be, first one is one dribble crossover. So we're emphasizing that you want to change heights and that you want to have your feet pointed in the direction that you want to go next. So you can see Johnny, when he takes his dribble, he's getting his inside foot to cross that line before he crossed, and that was a push cross. Then we'll go through. So it's the same idea, but now it's one dribble through the legs. We're trying to make sure that the kids aren't jumping into this, but rather they're stepping. So it's dribble and then step, step. Same exact thing for behind the back. Dribble, step, step, throwing it behind. For this, we're not wrapping, we're snapping the ball. So it's like we're going like a crossover, but behind our back. So these next three are still beginner. The first one is handshake. So we're saying, okay, start on one side of the line, and when you hit that handshake, your foot and your body should lean across that line. Your eyes can go that way as well, but you're trying to get that ball to go from your pocket across to your belly button for your handshake, and it's one dribble in between. This one is the same concept, but an in-out is those 2 dribbles, so it's pound, in-out, pound, in-out. We're trying to cross our foot across that line and get it back after the move. And then the last one will be 2 dribbles, and we're trying to be low and tight, get through it as fast as we can. 2 dribbles cross, 2 dribbles cross. We're trying to move our feet, get them across that line as quickly as we can. This is going to be into our intermediate level moves now. Pretty much every move is going to be set up with a handshake or an in-out. And instead of just working on shifting our height, now we're adding shift your weight and change your speed. So all 3 of those things are going to be emphasized at this level. First one is going to be in-out cross. Emphasize getting your foot over that line as you hit your in-out. So in-out cross. We got no dribbles in between now. So when they cross, the cross should be low, and that ball should float on their outside. They're going to take steps forward as that ball is floating. Then we'll go into our in-out through. So we're still emphasizing stepping, not jumping across this line. We're going to do 1 dribble in between each cone. So we'll go dribble, in-out through. Then we'll go dribble, in-out behind. When you do that in-out, we're still trying to step that foot across the line. Now we're going handshake, cross, handshake, cross. Rule of thumb, when you're doing your crosses, you're trying to let them float that ball, no dribbles in between. When you're doing your throughs and your behinds, handshakes, and on your in-outs, you can take 1 dribble in between each cone and trying to get that foot across the line. So that would be in-out and handshake, cross, through, and behind. Yep. Next, we're going to go into our down hezzies, and Johnny is going to explain that here.
A down hesitation is different than a handshake because the ball is always going to stay on the outside. Handshake, ball would go into our belly and then come back out. So the biggest difference is the ball always stays outside. Another huge key is that the ball and the opposite foot work in unison. So as the ball hits, so should that opposite foot. And as that opposite foot hits, that inside shoulder should drop as well.
Then we're going to add to it, so it's going to be down hezzy, cross, down hezzy, cross. Get your foot across that line, dip your shoulder on your down hezzy, and we're trying to do a float in between the cones, so no dribble. Then similarly to handshakes and in-outs, when we go into our through and our behind, we're trying to step, not hop, and we'll add 1 dribble in between each cone. Next, we're going to go into slides. So on these moves, it's like a double move, and between each move, we're trying to float the ball and slide across that line. So we're working on like hang time with the ball, trying to get the ball to our outside pocket and see how far we can move side to side between each combo of moves. So you can really do any combos that you want. Johnny's going to mix it up here. So he's starting balls in his right hand, and he's going to get back to that 1 dribble on the right side each time. So as you can see, he's going 1 dribble, combo across, combo back. sliding between each move.